everyone. It is Wednesday, also known as Hump Day. Hump Day, people. You're getting through. You're getting over the hump. Over it. Over it and over it and over it. Yes, you are, as we cruise through September here. How are you tonight? What are you guys all grateful for on this Wednesday night? Tell me about your day. Hey, Kitty, happy hump day to you. Great to have you here live tonight. Great to have you here. Can't believe it's Wednesday already. This week. Can't believe it's Wednesday. But I am grateful to have you here. I'm grateful for the beautiful day it was and all the customers who came out today. And the plethora of glitter that we have in home decor today from all the Christmas that was coming in. I don't know, it's a little weird as we head into the Day of Atonement, Yom Kippur here, that we start taking Christmas, but that's the way it worked this year. That's the way it worked. We did a little later this year. We pushed it to the 15th of September instead of the 1st of September this year taking Christmas, but it came in droves today. The Christmas did. It did. Which is great because that means it will go out in droves too. It will go out. And that is a wonderful thing. Oh, can't believe I'm getting tired here. Let's get started tonight with the Good Morning, Good Night book. Let's get started with the Good Morning, Good Night book. Is how we start this program every night. Tonight we are on page 172. 172. Good morning. Words fail us often, but when we put them together the right way, they can pull boulders out of us. Keep working with them. Yeah, people want something to cheer about. They want Christmas. They want the holidays. They want things to feel good about. So I think we're gonna have a very strong Christmas season this year. I think the Christmas season will be strong. It will indeed. Let's see what we got going on today. We returned to Broadway. Live theater inched back to life in New York. But last night was something of a grand reopening for Broadway as The Lion King, Wicked, and Hamilton and more returned to the stage after an 18-month hiatus. Theaters in New York are requiring that everyone 12 and over be vaccinated and that everyone except performers wear a mask. Still, the virus's recent resurgence may be affecting ticket sales. The ticket seller StubHub shows the 3 blockbuster shows have seats available for less than $200. And the Broadway League, a trade group, is not releasing box office data this season for fear of dampening consumer confidence. Hey, Jennifer, how are you? Great to have you here live. I hope all is well in Naples. I have you on my call list. I forget why, but I know that you are on my call list. 12% is the percentage of federal student loan borrowers who are buying cryptocurrency with their loan dollars. Rather than use it for necessities or books or to pay down other debt or something, they're using their student loan dollars to buy cryptocurrency. That is their ticket to success, people. Fake money. Using real money to buy fake money. Granted, Rebecca's not that long out of college, but I shake my head at that. But knowing some of her friends in college, and I guess even some of the young people that work for me now, that's not that surprising. I guess it's surprising that it's only 12% that are taking their student loan money and buying cryptocurrency with it. Hey, Barb, how are you? It is great to have you here. It is great to have you here tonight, and it was great to talk to you today. I love this quote from Simon. I like most of his quotes, but this quote from Simon is great. The primary ingredient for progress is optimism. The primary ingredient for progress is optimism. The unwavering belief that something can be better is what drives the human race forward. Yes, you can always be better. Never stop improving. Never stop improving. There is always better. There's always a new lens that you can look at things through. A new lens that you can look at things through and see things better. There is always a different lens. According to Deloitte, retail sales could rise 9% this holiday season. They're saying 7 to 9%, according to the latest projections. And in total, sales could reach 1.3 trillion. And that would be on top of last year's 5.8% increase in holiday sales, and which were a surprise to many. So that is a good thing, especially when the news is dominated by negative. You got to keep in mind. So seeing some positive signs of this continued economic recovery is really a very good thing. And, as we are seeing, as the news media is covering the virus, and, to an extent they should, but, it's all gloom and doom. It's all gloom and doom. And there's lots of bright spots in this, and people are still excited to spend. People are still excited to spend, and they want things. They're still buying things, which is part of why that that number is going to be up. They're buying tangible things versus events, trips, and things of that nature. Flights are, travel is dropping some, but it is not as gloom and doom out there as the news media, would like us to feel. And I really feel that we need to have cautious optimism as we move forward. You should always be cautious. You shouldn't be willy-nilly, pie in the sky, everything's going to be great. But on the same token, you shouldn't be all negative like the news media can be. And actually, even one of the things that's happening that is out there, I talked about Broadway being back and Hamilton and all the big shows, but even bigger than that, I mean, if you want a sign that things are back a little bit more normal this holiday season, the Thanksgiving Day Parade, Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is back and letting spectators back this year. Macy's will reduce the number of participants by 10 to 20% for staff and volunteers. This is the 95th year of the parade, but it will be open to the public this year. So that is really very, very, very good. Okay. I mean, I would love to see the parade in person from one of the luxury boxes or one of the hotels along the route someday. I mean, those go for thousands of dollars a person. But the fact that is back is really very exciting. Is really that is a sign of good things. Okay, that is moving forward that way is really very exciting. Tonight we are broadcasting live on Facebook and YouTube. Any problems with Facebook, you can hop right on over to YouTube. Cassandra's got the link to the YouTube broadcast right there in the show comments. I gotta look at one thing here. Hang on one second. All right. So we have been talking about the employee retention tax, the employee retention credit, and one additional thing that we have to talk about before we close out 2020, that applies to both 2020 and 2021, is the deductibility or taxability of the proceeds. So let's talk about that for a second, because it applies to both. So many of you remember with the PPP at a federal level and in most states, you can still count the expense of the payroll that you use. Okay, so you don't have to count the PPP as income, and you get to take the PPP expenses and count them as expenses, which is a great benefit from a tax perspective. With the employee retention credit, okay, since this is an IRS program, this is administered by the IRS, you're playing by the IRS's rules with this. You cannot take the expenses, okay? You're getting the money, okay, but you can't count the payroll expenses. So if you get $10,000 in employee retention credit, okay, you can't count $10,000 worth of payroll expenses. You're still getting a net gain, okay? If you got $10,000 in money from the government, okay, your business is still ahead of the game. It's still a smart thing to do and to take that you are entitled to, but you can't take the expense. So for those of you who are going to be claiming this for the first time for 2020, you may have to restate your tax returns. You may have to file an amended tax return for that. And I have had some stores get notifications from the IRS on that, okay, expecting them to file the amended tax returns. So you may, depending on how your business is organized, you may have to file an amended personal one if you're just a Schedule C filer, just an amended 1040. You may have to, if you're a corporation, you may have to file an amended corporate return and an amended personal return. So it is important to understand the tax ramifications of this. The net, you're still ahead of the game, okay? Even if you have to restate your tax returns for this, okay, you are still ahead of the game by taking the employee retention credit. And this is the same in 2020 and in 2021. You cannot count the expense for payroll that was given with the credit. It reduces that. But yes, I agree. Wait until you get the money. Wait until you get the money, because the IRS could deny part of your request. So don't file amended returns until you get the money. That is correct. That is correct, Kitty. So, but know that you have to do that. Okay, you are required to do that. You don't want to fall into an easy audit with the IRS for not doing that. Okay, and just the aggravation of an audit because of that. Okay, so know that is something that you're going to have to do. Okay, once you get the credit, you're going to have to adjust your books. And actually, that's the way if you're using QuickBooks, the way I would enter the transaction, the deposit, when you get the money, is I would have it reduce payroll. That deposit, so that you automatically know. Okay, and I would post that against payroll in QuickBooks. or payroll expense, just so you can follow it, because um, it is that kind of, you don't want to get tripped up on that. And I didn't want to leave that out for anybody. I know that. So now moving forward to 2021, the forms are the same. Okay, the 941X is still the same. The difference in 2021 with the employee retention credit is the value. So in 2020, you had the ability to get half of the first $10,000 in wages, okay, on any employee that was not paid with PPP money, okay, if you were eligible, either because due to business restrictions or being down 50% in a quarter. In 2021, the rules to be able to claim the credit are different. The government restriction still applies. So if you are under a government restriction that limits your operation, and the biggest one is store occupancy. So if you were restricted in your store occupancy by a state order, that would qualify you. Mask wearing is not a restriction that qualifies you, but occupancy restrictions, hours restrictions. If you were only allowed, because some areas of the country did it by hours, places were only allowed to be open during certain hours of the day or not as late at night. If you were under any of that, okay, you would qualify for it. Okay. So that is one way to qualify for the credit. The other way to qualify for it is if your sales were down, instead of 50%, 20% in a quarter versus 2019. So if your 2021 sales were down 20% versus 2019 in a quarter, you qualify. So that is how you would qualify. Those are the two ways you can qualify for it in 2021. Hey Rose, great to have you here. Oh, I can't wait to catch the video of that rocket flight. I heard it was going to be amazing. So that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. So if your sales were down, you get to qualify. Again, 20% 2021 versus 2019. You're not going up against 2020 numbers. You're going up 2021 versus 2019. Or you were under government restriction. But the amount you're able to claim is greater in 2021 than in 2020. In 2021, the credit is per quarter. You can get 70% of an employee's payroll back, 70% on any payroll up to the first $10,000 per quarter per employee. Okay, $10,000 of payroll per employee per quarter. You get 70%. You can get 70% back on anything that was paid with non-PPP money, on payroll that was paid with non-PPP money, if you qualify. So the amount goes up significantly. And it is for each quarter of 2020 that you qualify for. Now, if you're using the percent down gets you the whole quarter. If you're down the 20%, you qualify for the entire quarter. If you're using the government restriction, when the government restriction ends, so does the credit. So if the government restriction is only through the middle of the month or the middle of the quarter, that's when your credit ends. But it is significant. I mean, 70% of payroll with non-PPP money is what you get to claim. That adds up really quickly if you qualify. And again, it's about keeping employees attached to your business. So it is keeping the employees attached to your business keeping them off unemployment and keeping you, around. I mean, it is allowing you to build back a strong foundation. That is what this is about. So I know it's confusing because 2020 has one rules and one percentage, and 2021 has different. But that's why I'm talking. That's why I talked about it separately. That's why I left it separate, so that you could wrap your head around it. But you could get, in a quarter, you could get up to $7,000 back per employee. And every employee, if you're in an eligible period and not using PPP money, qualifies, except for the ones that didn't. The owners, or owners of 50% or more, of more than 50%, excuse me. Owners of more than 50% are ineligible, and the associated relatives that we've covered before. So it is a big deal. It is a big credit. And it uses the exact same forms that we've talked about. It uses the exact same 941 that we've talked about. You can even use the same worksheet that I already have. Now, I'm going to update that worksheet. I'll update that tomorrow, that spreadsheet worksheet. I'll update that for 2021 so you can use it for that, because the first worksheet's only calculating it at 50%, and I'll do a quick update to it so that you can have a worksheet that takes it up to 70%, so that it does your math correctly. Yeah, because that is a difference. So I will do that for you guys, because that's easy enough. I'm gonna talk to you separately, Pat. I got you on my list. Hopefully Friday. I gotta touch base with you on your whole situation. I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call you to discuss your situation. Hello, Vina. How are you? Great to have you here tonight. So we will. That is what the credit is, and if you're under the government restrictions, it doesn't matter even if you did more sales. Okay, that your sales increased in 2021 versus 2019. That is irrelevant. Because most of your expenses have increased too. So again, but it's irrelevant to the credit, to claiming the credit and being able to claim the credit. It's either government restrictions or that your sales are down. Either way, you qualify. Okay. If so that is that. One of the things popping up tonight in our fine government's discussion of how to get this budget bill done and the money they want to spend is there actually is now talk of money for small business. Okay, legitimate talk, and it's not what you think. Okay, so there is talk of tacking on money for the Restaurant Revitalization Fund as part of the program, part of the budget plan that's working its way through Congress right now. And as part of that, they're talking about making the Restaurant Revitalization Fund eligible to all small businesses. I don't know that that's going to happen. I was asked to provide comment on that today, and how that would affect small businesses and why small businesses need it. And for your recollection, the Restaurant Revitalization Program basically takes your revenue in 2020 and your revenue in 2019 and says, what's the difference? And the government sends you a check for the difference. That's the short version. There's a little bit more math to the Restaurant Revitalization Fund, but that's the short version of how the Restaurant Revitalization Fund was designed to work, and which ran out of money very quickly. So they're talking about there is talk today about funding that again, putting more money into that. But the discussion is centering around whether to allow all small businesses to participate in that, or businesses below a certain revenue level. And so I don't know that any of that's actually going to happen. I'm not even sure they're going to put money back into this fund. Again, government works in strange and unusual ways, but I was asked to provide comment on that today, and how that would affect small businesses. And obviously, the effect would be huge. Okay, I mean, all these various programs have been helpful, but any additional support would help so many small businesses. It's immeasurable. I mean, how that would help small businesses. So I make no promises about that. I make nothing. I tell you nothing. I tell you nothing other than I was asked to comment. And I will keep you in the loop should that actually come to fruition. The one thing that is real, what did I do with that? Is there's a grant from there are still grants out there, people, and most of you qualify for this one. Most of you are a women-owned or minority business, either women or minority. Okay. Galaxy of Stars has grants available for $2,750. So not outrageous money, but $2,700 is $2,700, people. $2,700. What's more is it is a 30-second application. It is the simplest application in the world. If you are a woman-owned business or a minority, you can apply. The link will be in the NARTS private Facebook page anytime now, probably in the next half hour. It'll be over at narts.org/resalestrong by noon tomorrow. Galaxy of Stars. I mean, $2,750. Everybody that's a woman-owned business or minority is eligible. And boy, the rain is coming through now. Boy, are we getting some storms coming through right now. You know what else comes through? This video and everything I talk about. This video and everything I talk about goes over to narts.org/resalestrong by noon the next day. Noon, I tell you. All the files, all the links, they're all over there at narts.org/resalestrong, including a direct link to the YouTube channel. You're not alone running this store, where you can like, comment, subscribe, and oh yeah, you can ring the bell. You can ring the bell so you know when another one drops. You can also share it with all your friends in business, the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, so we can help everybody make it across the other side. I'm here every night at more 8-ish live in the NARTS private Facebook group. But if you have a question in between, you can just email me, Neil, Neil at ECIstores.com, Neil at ECIstores.com. We start this program every night with the Good Morning, Good Night book. Tonight we're on page 172. Good morning. Words fail us often, but when we put them together the right way, they can pull boulders out of us. Keep working with them. Our good night tonight is good night. Tomorrow we take pen to pad, move mountains, get some rest. There's your graphics, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Neil Abramson. I do like a good party, a wedding, a bar mitzvah even. We will party again. We will party in person. And when we do, I'm going to be there with you. But until then, and until tomorrow night at more 8-ish, know that you, and you, but most importantly you, yes you, you're not alone running this store. Have a great night, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.